welcome back to Miami with Rick Carlisle. Coach, a little bit of a slow start offensively. How do you get quality shots against this group?
Well, it's hard work, and the best way to get them is to stop them, and that's not easy either. But we had some good looks. The thing we got to stay away from are the turnovers.
Their percentage was low. What are you doing well defensively?
Both teams are shooting it bad. I mean, look, both teams are into it. It's a grinding type defensive game, and you know, finding openings to get shots is going to be something both teams are going to be looking to do.
Thank you. Mike.
All right, Doris, Rick Carlisle in his third year, he has done a tremendous job. Almost the perfect fit for this veteran team. It's his first finals as a coach. He won a championship with the Celtics as a player back in '86. James on the drive, trying to feel some contact. Bosh right there. Chris Bosh continues his terrific play.
I thought that was smart offensive basketball. In their zone, Miami swung the ball so James was isolated against Nowitzki, and then Bosh cleaned up the second shot opportunity.
There's J.J. Barea, who's been a terror trying to keep out of the paint for opponents. Misses that shot. Miller the rebound.
I'll tell you what, the last couple of minutes, I really like the way that the Dallas Mavericks are running their offense, forcing Miami to rotate and run at bodies, but they're getting quality looks.
They pick up the tempo with Barea at the point. He's been a matchup nightmare for teams. Terry knocks down a three, another three-pointer, their fourth here in the opening half, and Dallas up by 2.
They're creating rotations via pick and roll and dribble penetration.
Jason Terry back in 2006, he had a couple of 30-point games in those finals. Not afraid at all of the big moment. He's had some up and down playoffs since then. As Miller's shot is good, answers right back with his own three. And someone besides James, Bosh, and Wade gets some points. Right away, the double team on Nowitzki. And a hell ball, quick whistle.
Well, they set a little cross screen, and Mike Miller just stayed there. So on the pass, came from the baseline side, swarmed him, jump ball.
And we saw plenty of that in the previous series with Nick Collison of the Thunder defending Dirk Nowitzki, would tie him up as he kept the ball low on his move.
And again, Haslam, he's a good player. He won a ring here in '06, but he's also what they were missing, Jeff, right?
Well, absolutely. They needed more front court depth.
Nice steal by Chalmers. Goes to the basket. And he stepped out of bounds. On the angle, Mike Callahan way down the other end. James saying, you saw that? Chalmers made a terrific defensive play. This couldn't keep on the court. Yep, good call.
But here's the thing. If his dribble is released when his foot is on the line, and then it comes up, and then he touches the ball, I don't think that's out of bounds. Now, that's very hard to see, certainly, but...
Stojakovic up top, Terry, a long three-pointer, way off the mark. And they'll go down the other way. Wade's going to come back in the game. Jason Terry had some huge games so far in these playoffs, including tying an NBA playoff record with 9 three-pointers in Game 4 against the Lakers. That's where the Mavericks tied an NBA record as a team with 23s to complete the sweep of the Lakers in the second round. Terry can light it up if he gets the shot going. Haslam. Miller with a hand in his face. Miller gets the rebound. Inside the Wade. Couple of fakes. Blocked by Hayward. Tries to throw it off Barea. Makes a nice catch. J.J. Barea to Nowitzki and a hard foul. And Nowitzki will shoot 2. Pushing to the ball from Barea.
Minus the one Mike Miller three, the zone of Dallas has done a very good job, except for the fact they've had a hard time rebounding the ball. But the initial defense of the zone has overcome the small backcourt of Barea and Terry.
And I'm totally convinced that if the Dallas Mavericks are to win a championship, the zone will be the key. Because you've got to find a way to make LeBron James and Dwayne Wade jump shooters. They have proven that they could dominate the paint area, force them to do their damage on the perimeter.
And I give Rick Carlisle a lot of credit for having the foresight of having a zone in all season that they've worked on and they've played extensively. So at this moment in time, it may be their best defensive weapon when they get their better offensive players on the floor.
As Miami faced a lot of zone this year, a lot of teams don't play it on a regular basis. As Haywood with another block.
No one plays it other than Dallas on a regular basis.
And not whether they face it or not many teams play the zone very well. Dallas Mavericks play it, and they play it extremely well.
Terry, nice fake, wild shot. Rebound, Wade. Bosch hands to Miller. Chalmers on the drive. And Mario Chalmers will shoot a couple. And we'll have another timeout. Early second quarter, Dwayne Wade and the Heat trail by 1.
Thanks for watching ESPN on ABC, home of the NBA Finals.
Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Everything Goodyear has learned making tires for All-Star handling inspires what they roll into yours. Second quarter, game 1 of the NBA Finals here in Miami. Mavericks up by 1. Our Kia game changer. What we'll look at here, and so much of this series depending on defending Dirk Nowitzki.
And you try a lot of different things in a lot of different ways. You're trying to take away his airspace, but even when you're close and you contest in his face, he's got the high release point and can shoot it over you. Pick and roll. LeBron James rotates. Nowitzki does a great job skipping it out of the double team. Marion does a good job of driving the closeout and then finding the wide open Jason Kidd. That's good offense by Dallas.
Nowitzki, like many players who've seen double teams throughout their career, has become so good at passing out of the double teams. As Chalmers misses the free throw, it was now 3 free throws. He's enjoying himself here, but he didn't enjoy it in 2006. He says he still has not watched any of the games of the NBA Finals when they lost in 6 games. He said it would make him sick to his stomach. They had that 2-0 lead, and then in game 3, the 13-point lead late in the third quarter when Dwayne Wade decided to win a championship.
I think he enjoyed it for 2.5 games.
Perhaps as Barea gets in. Dallas had home court back in 2006. Miami here in these finals. Stojakovic on Bosch. Nice pass inside, and Wade gets it to go. Wade was bothered by a left shoulder injury. He had surgery on it 2 years ago. Bothered him in the Chicago series, but he says he's fine. Absolutely no problems. He did not have the most efficient series in the conference finals, but made some huge plays when it counted. Nowitzki drive won't go. Tip misses. And Haywood the rebound. Terry for 3. Good hustle from Haslam. And good transition defense from Dallas. Haslam such a huge favorite here in Miami, not only because he won the ring in 06, but born and raised, high school as well. And just his style of play, how hard he plays, as we listen to a Rick Carlisle huddle.
We're doing a good job. We're active. We're getting good shots, all right? The biggest thing, stay away from the turnovers. That's the biggest thing. Rebound. You got to rebound. And you got to rebound. Hey, the free throw rebound's going to kill us.
Barea drives, trying to draw some contact there. Haywood, and they're going to wave it off. Loose ball foul on Brendan Haywood. That's 2 on Haywood, as James reports back in.
Barea's upset, felt like there was a push as he was driving to the cup on that pick and roll situation.
Barea has gotten to the point where he's actually part of the defensive game plan. How adept he is at getting into the paint. There was some contact there, although Chalmers looked like he played him pretty well. Barea, guys, just signing free agent contracts. Wasn't drafted out of Northeastern. Now in his 5th year in the league, all with Dallas. Born and raised in Puerto Rico, has played for their national team. Great scorer in college, great scorer in high school. He played year of high school here in Miami at Miami Christian. And just every year just gets better and better. We told the story back in the Western Conference Finals on how he still sometimes has trouble getting into the arenas. Security doesn't believe he's a player. Even Dirk Nowitzki said the first time he saw him at practice, he goes, this guy's too little. But he is a big part of them being here in the finals. James to Bosch. Bosch fouled by Stojakovic.
You talk about that pass, coach. Point guards don't make that play.
Yeah, it's Steve Nash type pocket pass. And this is very hard because Stojakovic, because they're trying to keep him off of LeBron James, is guarding Joel Anthony. He's not used to rotating across the lane on pick and rolls and protecting the basket by taking charges and blocking shots. So this is very hard for him to try to play big man type defense.
Bosch knocks down the free throw. Chris Bosch, sensational against Chicago. Averaged 23 a game, shot 59%. Had 30 points twice in the series. Had a big game 5 in the clincher. This is a guy never made it past the first round in his years in Toronto. And here in the biggest games of his career in the conference finals, he came through.
You look at this Heat lineup on the floor where basically LeBron James is playing the power forward position. A dangerous team on the offensive end, but they've got a gang rebound on the defensive end.
Sean Marion. Somehow, God, that's a line drive. Although Miller played him well, he was right on him.
Played him extremely well. Kept him away from his sweet spot where he loves to get into the paint and shoot that jump hook. But Sean Marion taking advantage of his matchup and problems on the other end.
Marion had 26 points in game 5, the clincher against Oklahoma City. Nice feed, and James finishes. Already had 8 lead changes here in the first half. Correa again. Stojakovic from 3 won't go. And Bosch with his 6th board already. James down the other end, and Stojakovic called for a foul on the entry pass. And we'll have a timeout as we're past the midway point here of the second quarter.
See on the offensive end, Wade drops off pass, lob to James, trust his hands, trust the receiver. James does the rest. And then on the other end, Sean Marion taking advantage of the smaller Mike Miller. Help doesn't come, turns to the baseline. Beautiful post-up move. Heat up by 1.
In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
Well, after the decision, it was the way over the top introductory press conference. And the Miami Heat and their new Big Three became villains, certainly in Cleveland, where he left the Cavaliers. Other cities that were spurned as well, New York, Chicago, all hoping to get LeBron James. But they turned it around during the course of the season, knocking off the other elite teams, Philly, Boston, Chicago, to make it to the finals. But they are still a team that a lot of fans root against. You hear often, I want anyone to win but the Heat. The funny thing is, you take away the decision, you take away that introductory press conference. This is an unselfish team, hard-working team. They play defense. They do all the right things that we like to applaud. As Chalmers knocks down the 3, yet a lot of people still look at them as villains, Jeff.
Well, you look at LeBron James. He's never gotten in any type of scandal. All he decided to do was go to a different place to work. And it just shows you, as Marion's fouled, it just shows you that we celebrate often athletes who go through addictions, go through problems with the law. This isn't what LeBron James has had problems with. He made a questionable decision at best to have the decision. And then I think the Miami Heat organization did themselves a disservice by having that over-the-top celebration.
2 big takebacks if they.
Yeah, I think. But again, if that's all they've done wrong, I don't understand why it's prolonged. Other than that, some people don't like like guys who jump from one team to another. They'd like to see what Nowitzki did. Stay with one team your whole career.
And I don't know I know LeBron would probably take back the decision show. But I'm not so sure that Pat Riley wouldn't take back the celebration because it put pressure on these guys to follow it up.
Well, end result, here they are in the finals, and the favorites to win the title. Bosch misses. Bosch tip won't go. There's Mr. Hustle. Chandler then throws it ahead to Terry. Nowitzki trying to get untracked. They've been all over him. Bosch fighting for it, and it gets tipped out to Terry. Kid to Marion. Marion hit as Bosch picks up his first. More free throws for Dallas. They've already been there 12 times. Our calendar for the finals. Thursday would be game 2 here in Miami, and then the series shifts to Dallas for games 3, 4, and 5. Game 3 will be Sunday, and that's an earlier start, 8 Eastern start on Sunday, and then game 4 on Tuesday, back to 9 Eastern start from the American Airlines Center in Dallas in the 2-3-2 format.
And just going back to James's decision, the other part is, wouldn't every working American want to choose where they work and who they work with if they could?
Yeah.
And so we resent the thing that we would want in our own profession.
But you hit it on the head. It's the way, if it was done differently and they didn't have the press conference, I think a lot of this venom would not be aimed at them. Wade has it blocked from behind, and it's still Miami ball with 12 on the shot clock. And the ironic thing for James, with all that he went through, and for the first time in his career was booed in almost every arena he went to, by the end of the season, he had the NBA's top-selling jersey.
Well, he's still the best player in basketball and has been for 3 or 4 years. But I think it does bother him, what other people think of him. I don't think you're human if it doesn't.
Wade hits a 3. Wayne Wade downtown, and the Heat back up by 4.
Did you just say you think it bothers him?
I do.
I don't think it bothers him at all. I think it motivates him to continue to be great.
I disagree with that, too. I think he was already motivated.
Nowitzki lays it up and in.
You disagree with everything I say. Doesn't matter.
I'll agree with the part about him continuing to be great. The way he's played at both ends of the floor in these playoffs is spectacular.
I disagree.
Bosch lines it up, knocks down the shot. He's been very effective at the foul line and on the elbows. Under 3.5 remaining in the second. Nowitzki. Tough off-balance shot. And a loose ball foul against Miami. And I think it's going to be the second on Bosch. So Bosch and James each with 2. Bosch will go to the bench. Strong start for Bosch. 11 points, 7 rebounds, and a couple of assists. Beat by 4 as we wind down the first half.
ESPN's presentation of the 2011 NBA Finals on ABC. Brought to you by
ABC Tuesday, June 21st, a new drama series takes you to see the most dangerous place on earth. Life on the Edge means doing things you never thought possible. ABC's Combat Hospital series premiere Tuesday, June 21st at 10, 9 Central on ABC. LeBron James and the Heat now up by 4, playing a Mavs team that were tied with the Heat for the best road record during the regular season. And Dallas comes in having won 5 consecutive road games in the playoffs, including those 2 surprises in LA in the second round to open up their series against the Lakers. Nowitzki catch and shoot. That goes, a 3-pointer for Nowitzki, who's shooting over 50% from downtown in the playoffs.
If I'm Rick Carlisle, I'm confident in the fact that Dirk Nowitzki will have quality looks in this series. The way that he's being defended is just a question of him being ready to shoot and knock it down.
Backdoor to Wade. Deflected out of bounds. And it's going to be Dallas ball. Wade thought he got hit. Shooting percentages are low. Miami 35%. Dallas just 31%. They're only down by 1.
But this high pick and roll with Jason Terry has been impactful.
Nowitzki, tough fall away, banks it in. There he goes. He's hit some incredible shots during this playoff run.
And there's nothing you can do as a coach. You can't design defense to stop that. LeBron James said it was the second toughest shot to defend in the history of basketball after Kareem Abdul-Jabbar skyhook.
And Kevin Durant said he hit shots that deflate your defense. Wade won't go. Haslam fighting. Chandler able to get it. Outlet to Kidd. 38-year-old Jason Kidd. They win the title. They'd be the oldest starting point guard on an NBA championship team. There's the ball movement. Chandler to Marion. And a 7-0 run by Dallas. They're up by 3.
We see them fall back into a zone.
Chalmers left open, and Chalmers gets it to go. He's hit some big shots, some big threes. The backup point guard ties the game.
Those are the same shots that Mike Bibby had to start the game. You're going to have to make those shots.
Chandler, alley-oop, and a foul. Beautiful pass from Jason Kidd. As Joel Anthony picks up his third, and Chandler will go to the line.
Well, again, Jason Kidd coming off the pick and roll. You see how far Joel Anthony extended to show on the pick and roll. His recovery was difficult. James should have been in more because he was guarding Marion on the wing. And I think Miami, either at halftime or going into game 2, on Jason Kidd's pick and rolls, they should not extend as much because he's coming off thinking pass first and foremost. He's not looking to turn the corner to score like a Jason Terry would be.
Well, Anthony is done for the half with the 3 fouls. There's only a little over a minute remaining. Now they've just changed one of his earlier fouls, so now he only has 2. Bosch draws the foul on Chandler. Bosch playing a smart game. Chandler with 2 fouls. Coming up at halftime, Stuart Scott, Magic Johnson, John Barry, Michael Wilbon at the T-Mobile halftime report. The guys who have the first half analysis. And then Dwayne Wade one-on-one. And while we have a second, just want to send our best to Stuart Scott, who is just incredible the way he's dealing with his battle with cancer right now. Stewart's been going through some chemotherapy, shows up here at work, never complains. He's been able to share it by tweeting with some people and has inspired people, and he's inspiring us. We tip our hats to our man Stewart for the way he's handled the most difficult situation of his life.
And while we're at that, Mike Miller, what he's going through with his daughter right now, Mike, deserves a mention. His newborn daughter. Best wishes to him and his family as she recovers.
A couple of weeks old, had several holes in her heart. And the doctors are hopeful. It's certainly a difficult time for Mike and his wife. Their third child as Terry knocks down the 3. Jason Terry, 12 points off the bench. This has been such a key for Dallas. Their bench play, and Terry, a former 6-man winner.
And Sean Marion's energy and effort keeping balls alive and giving them second opportunities.
Chalmers comes right back. 3-pointers from some key bench players on both sides, and Dallas lead cut to 1. About a second difference, shot clock and game clock. Haslam extends out on Nowitzki. And Nowitzki dribbles it out of bounds. He thought he was hit. Rick Carlisle wanting to get a sub in. Get Brendan Hayward to come in for the final possession.
Clearly the ball out of bounds off of Dirk Nowitzki. That's good defense by Udonis Haslam, realizing that the help is coming from the baseline, so he sends Nowitzki that way.
22nd timeout called by Eric Spoelstra. So we'll take a quick break. The Heat will have a final possession as we wind down the first half. NBA Finals continue. Game 2 Thursday night on ABC. Coverage begins Thursday at 8:30 Eastern. Buick Regal NBA Countdown. And then tip-off shortly after 9 Eastern, right back here at the American Airlines Arena. As both teams trying to draw first blood on these 2011 playoffs and the 2011 NBA Finals. Mavericks have yet to trail in any of their playoff series. Against Portland, the Lakers, and Oklahoma City. Carlisle's team always getting out, winning game 1. The Heat coming off a conference final where they lost game 1 badly to Chicago. And boy, have they bounced back with 4 straight victories. A little full court pressure here with 5.9 remaining. James looking, kicks it out to Miller. Good open 3. Off the mark as the buzzer sounds, ending the first half. 9 lead changes in this one. Of course, the big 3 doing a lot of the scoring. Chris Bosh, terrific first half, 13 points and 7 rebounds. Meanwhile, Dirk Nowitzki had 13 points to lead the Dallas Mavericks. Jason Terry, superb play, 12 points off the bench. He's with Doris.
Jason, how much of the shooting percentages for both teams, which are low, is a product of this being game 1 of a finals versus the defenses that are being played?
Well, I think for us, we're getting opportunities that we like. We just got to go in and really concentrate and finish them.
Your 3-point opportunities, what are those a product of?
Oh, those are good spacing, good penetration, and then being available for our passers.
Jason, thank you.
Thank you.
Mike.
All right, Doris. Defense has been the key. The zone defense for Dallas, the usual terrific man-to-man defense for Miami. After the break, Stewart, Magic, John, and Michael have the T-Mobile halftime report. They'll analyze the first half and a closer look at Dwayne Wade trying for his 2nd NBA championship. Jason Terry trying for his 1st. He was on the team that lost in 6 games in Miami back in 06. But as we said at the top, both these teams vastly different than 5 years ago. Halftime, game 1 here in Miami. Mavericks with a 1-point lead.